What are the 4 steps you need to take to create financial control for life? Find out in this episode. In this episode, we're going to talk about 4 steps you need to take to create a system that will allow you to create financial control for life. That's it, just 4 steps. In my view, the idea here is that your control of your financial future is critical. Your money is your money, and who do you want controlling your money? And would you not sleep a lot easier if you knew that your money was protected and that it was always there for opportunities in your future or emergencies that came up? Would it not be a great idea to have a plan in place to understand how to tackle debt and whether it's bad debt or good debt and recognize that? And also a system to create savings that you know you can count on and is not going to be lost. So it's really critical to understand those 4 steps to create that foundation for having financial control for life, having financial prosperity in life, having financial independence in life, and financial protection in life is so important. So I'm really passionate about these 4 steps and how it's allowed myself and my family to create financial control in our lives. So we have the blessing of being able to do a lot of things in our life and also know that if things happen, we have a plan in place that can tackle those obstacles and challenges. Step 1 is creating insurance protection for life. And what is insurance protection? Well, insurance protection is going to include several things. Number 1, it's going to include proper life insurance, which means if something happened to you or your partner or a loved one, there's money that's going to be paid out tax-free to provide lost income because you're no longer here, to continue to help the business run, to provide legacy. Those types of things are used for death benefit coverage. You're also going to need to have protective expenses in place such as critical illness. So if you get an illness or a partner gets ill, or a family member, there's money that can help pay for that lost income because you can't work, you're recovering, to do alternative treatments, to take that time, maybe a year or 2, to not have to worry about the finances. You're also going to need to have disability insurance in place too on the insurance protection side, which means that if you're injured due to an accident, there's going to be money paid out monthly to help the cash flow, to pay your mortgage, to provide coverage for the business overhead expenses. So that's another key component. Step 2 is debt in terms of creating a system that allows you to have financial control for life. What is debt? Debt, we all deal with debt. There's good debt and bad debt. So it's important to recognize when debt is good in your life and when it's a negative. So we talk about conscious spending and we talk about tackling your debt in terms of abundance mindset and really creating an environment where you understand what expenses are destructive and what expenses are productive. And actually having a conscious spending plan allows you to free yourself from scarcity or fear around your money, to know that everything is aligned based on what you have to pay for in that month, and to know that some of that money is going to be used to build wealth, which is productive. Some of that money is going to be used to create experiences and have fun, and you're going to tackle the destructive. So what are some destructive expenses? Destructive expenses could be additional fees, bank fees. Destructive expenses could be paying 2 or 3 cell phone bills when you really only need 1. Destructive expenses could be smoking, for example, or things that aren't really helping your health could be a destructive expense. And I think number 1 is you really want to focus on the debt management and making sure that you know which debts are destructive and having a plan around taking them out, which we can help you understand how to take out debt properly. When you look at debt management in step 2, you look at creative ways of managing debt, and for us personally, we use the cash values in our whole life insurance policy to pay off that debt that we talked about in previous episodes. And to be creative around doing that was a huge blessing for us, and it was around abundance thinking to capitalize on that opportunity to take out that debt. And that brings us into step 3, which is building a cash reserves Cash reserves for, not just for a rainy day. I think cash reserves are used for expenses that come up, perhaps a repair on a vehicle, or on a vacation or an experience, or an opportunity to expand your business, an opportunity to learn something new, to grow yourself or your team would be another cash reserve you would need. Cash reserves for a huge opportunity that comes up where you have an opportunity to invest in a business or with a partner or an investment that aligns with your values. You need a cash reserve for that too. So when we talk about cash reserves, we're not just talking about a rainy day fund. You still need to have 6 months of emergency money if you are out of work, which is really important in your cash reserves. But I think to expand on it and know that we can create wealth by using these cash reserves now instead of way down the road. And the fourth step to create financial control for life is wealth building. In this step, we want to create elements of wealth building that match your values, wealth building that have secure, predictable, guaranteed results, elements of wealth building that take away risk and loss. So in terms of having that abundant mindset is really important here. We're not saying you can't invest or take on risk. As long as you accept that risk and are aligned with the idea that that money could be gone and you can live with that, that's okay. But we're talking more about wealth building around guaranteed returns, guaranteed income stream, which is important, guarantees, control, knowing that our money will always be there. Return of our capital is important in wealth building. You look at the RSPs, qualified plans, which means that your money's locked in a prison in a way, which means there's lots of inefficiencies and no flexibility. So when building wealth, we want to have flexibility and ability to use our money. And with our whole life insurance policies that we use, we're able to access those dollars for wealth building in the future and also now too. And know that later on in life, if we decide to not work anymore, we have a guaranteed income stream that we can rely on as long as we're here. So if you're missing one of those steps or maybe all 4 of those steps and you want to have help to create financial control for life, all you need to do now is click the link below so we can set up a 30-minute consult. I look forward to speaking to you and helping you create solutions that allow you to create financial control for life.